Excuse me, excuse me.
All right, let's go.
Who are we? Who are we? Make sure y'all
I know, right? Yeah.
Good, and yourself?
You taking pictures out here too?
Yes, same. Hey, good to be seen. Yeah, how about that? All right, Chief County. That's looking great.
Martin Luther King Day Parade, the first annual celebration for the Martin Luther King holiday in Rockdale County. To the stage, you know, we're not going to hold you long, and I'm not going to say a lot of words. I just want to make sure we get through the agenda. So, next we want to bring to the stage our Grand Marshal, who has been here for well over 20 years, I believe, and has served our community both from a grassroots standpoint, but he's also served in public office for over 8 years, and he continues to serve us as a man, as a servant. We don't want to take it for granted, and by his service, I hope and I pray that he will encourage all other men in this community to stand and to serve. Do not let fear be among you. For this man is strong, he's courageous, and he's also been a man of integrity. Today I am honored to serve you and to bring to the stage our chairman, Mr. Oz Nesmith Jr. Give him a round of applause. Well, good afternoon, Rockdale County. Give yourselves a wonderful round of applause. Come on, give it up on this Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Give yourselves a wonderful round of applause. Thank you to our MC, Mr. Dillard. Thank you to the founder and the originator of this idea, Ms. Josie Dean, and the Think Tank Incorporated, all of our sponsors. I don't want to be too redundant, but let me just say this. This is a profound moment here in Rockdale County. As you know, Josie is on the front lines of getting things done, and certainly Rockdale County stands alongside with her. I was glad to be a part of the meeting where myself, the city manager, Mr. Lucas, the police chief for the city of Conyers, Mr. Gene Wilson, and representatives from the Sheriff's Department, Mr. Mike Myers, on behalf of Sheriff Levitt, have all pledged to work very closely with Ms. Dean as we move forward to plan for next year to have this parade in the heart of downtown Conyers, right there on Main Street, Conyers. We're going to make it happen. We're going to make it happen next year. So, and I had a chance to say to some of the other folks who came out to support this event this afternoon, this is a great start. I think this is a wonderful start that we have this gathering here at 1400 Parker Road. The interest and the enthusiasm is simply going to grow as we move forward for next year. As you understand, planning an event of this magnitude, it takes just that, planning and time and preparation. So starting in April of this year, Ms. Dean will coordinate with the City of Conyers and Rockdale County to get a head start, a jump start in planning for next year. I've pledged as the chairman of this county to make sure that we continue to provide the resources coming from Rockdale County government. The sheriff has also pledged to do the same. The city manager from the City of Conyers and the police chief from the City of Conyers have all joined together so that we can plan and prepare and make sure we have a finished quality product next year. And let me just say this to you. Next year commemorates the 50th anniversary of the Martin Luther King celebration. So it's going to be even a grander affair as we celebrate next year. Give it up for Josie Dean. As I take my seat, I just want to make sure I take a moment to say this, particularly to our young people. So there's been 50 years, just about 50 years of celebrations for Dr. Martin Luther King, his life, his legacy, and the message that he fought for and stood for, and ultimately he died for. I think sometimes we forget to point that out. But to our young people, I think what happens on MLK Day, a lot of folks forget what this day is really, truly all about. It's a day on and not a day off. It's an opportunity for you to educate your young people about exactly who Dr. King was. And one thing I want to take my seat and say this, Apostle Hill, is that Dr. King was for everybody. He was for all people, the entire community. And that is what it's all about, that we continue to embrace each other as a community. I see we have Post 2 Commissioner, Dr. Doreen Williams is here as well. Thank you, Dr. Williams, for joining us. But we certainly do appreciate all of you all coming out, and we appreciate that you're doing so well working together. Our Post 1 Commissioner, Commissioner Sherry Washington, Attorney Sherry Washington. Stand up, Ms. Washington, so they can see you. Yes, ma'am. All right. She's sitting next to the other Washington, the Honorable Tisa Smart Washington, our tax commissioner. You got a load on you there, but if you can find your way to stand up, if you can stand up real quick, then give it up for Ms. Washington. That's your tax commissioner. All right. All of the clergy, would you please raise your hand? I see Apostle Hill. Any other clergy members? All right, plenty clergy here. All right, that's very good. Reverends, give it up for the clergy members. That's right. How many of you know that prayer still works? All right, very good. Thank you so much. I'm honored, and I thank Ms. Dean for allowing me to serve as the first official Grand Marshal of the first Rockdale County Martin Luther King Day Parade and Festival, because next year is going to be a parade and a festival.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to bring to the podium Mr. Brian Jenkins, who's been here for several years. He also is a man of valor and stands up for the voiceless. He's a good man and has been a friend of mine. And I'd just like to say, Brian, before I introduce you, thank you for all the work that you do in this community. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Jenkins.
Mr. Chairman, Dr. Josie Dean, Mr. Brantley, Pastor Hatcher, Mr. Dillon. I'd like to preface my speech by just saying this, that the churches are filled with old people and the morgues are filled with young people. Dr. King delivered this speech, and it's one that's dear to my being. We all think about it, and every now and then I think about my own death and I think about my own funeral. And I don't think of it in a morbid sense. Every now and then I ask myself, what is it that I would want said when I leave the world to you this morning? If any of you around when I have to meet my day, now I don't want a long funeral. Or if you get somebody to deliver the eulogy, tell them not to talk too long. Tell them not to mention that I have a Nobel Peace Prize. That ain't important. Tell them not to mention that I have 300 or 400 other awards. That's not important. Tell them not to mention where I went to school. I'd like for somebody to mention that day that Martin Luther King Jr. tried to love somebody. I'd like for somebody to mention that day that I did try in my life to clothe those who were naked. I'd like for somebody to say that day that I did try in my life to visit those who are in prison. I'd like for somebody to say that I tried to serve and love humanity. Yes, if you want to say that I was a drum major, then say I was a drum major for justice. Oh, and I was a drum major for peace. And I was a drum major for righteousness. And all of the other shallow things will not matter. I won't have any money to leave behind. I won't have all the luxurious things in life to leave behind, but I just want to leave a committed life. That's all I want to say. If I can help somebody as I pass along, if I can cheer somebody with a word or song, if I can do my duty as a Christian, if I can deliver the message that the Master taught, then my living will not be in vain. Yes, Jesus, I want to be on your right or your left hand side. I want to be on your right or your left hand side, not in turn for some political conviction, but I just want to be there. Love, justice, and in peace. God bless you.
Martin Luther King Jr. envisioned a beloved community, a society based upon justice, equal opportunity, and love of one's fellow human being. This is the global vision that Martin Luther King had. But we have that vision right here in Rockdale County. We can champion King's cause. I said we can champion King's cause. In this community, we shall have no poverty. We shall have no hunger. We shall have no homelessness. Because we will lift up a standard. And so we just give honor today for the beloved community that Martin Luther King left us with so that we can continue King's cause. So thank you to his family today and everyone that carries the torch. Thank you. Give yourselves another warm round of applause for being in the right place at the right time. Martin Luther King Jr. envisioned a beloved community, a society based upon justice, equal opportunity, and love of one's fellow human being. This is the global vision that Martin Luther King had. But we have that vision right here in Rockdale County. We can champion King's cause. I said we can champion King's cause. In this community, we shall have no poverty. We shall have no hunger. We shall have no homelessness. Because we will lift up a standard. And so we just give honor today for the beloved community that Martin Luther King left us with so that we can continue King's cause. So thank you to his family today and everyone that carries the torch. Thank you. Give yourselves another warm round of applause for being in the right place at the right time.
Then I came up here and I met all his troop, Hosea Williams, Joseph Lyra, Orange, everybody. They trained me and they trained me well. So much is given, much is required. So I asked God, what word do you have for your people? Not for me, but your people need a word from the Lord right now. Your people are hurting. We don't understand what we're finna go through or what's finna happen. But God said, just hold on just a little while longer. Just hold on and love just a little harder. Just sit down and just, when people acting crazy, just sit there and begin to pray. So today, Isaiah 58, cry aloud, spare not, lift up your voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins. God broke it down like this. He said, Joseph, he said, I want you to tell my people that they gotta love one another like they never loved one another in their life. They gotta love the people that hate them. They gotta love the people that scandalize them. They gotta love the people who say they never can be nothing. Don't worry about your children not being an A student. It may be too slow. Sometimes reading and writing may be too slow for some children. Sometimes your children have a mind that goes beyond that slow. Some of them say you was in special ed. I done most stuff in special ed, and most of these people don't done with AD and FD and all those kind of degrees. So I just want us to let our children know right now. Love our children in spite of. Don't try to let your children compete with nobody else. Let your children compete with what they want to do. If they don't like something, don't let them get in it. Let them get in what they love. We standing here today making history. Just let us love one another. It's so hard for us to love one another. When we didn't have enough, we loved each other. We stayed in each other's house. We stayed on the floor. We know how to love. We don't got so much. God don't bless us with so much. We got so much of stuff, and yet we don't forget him. We don't got God's statutes. We say, Father over, and God say, walk in it. What did your grandparents say? You think y'all got all that stuff because of y'all? Y'all got it because y'all had a praying grandmama. You had a praying mama. You had somebody praying. We don't took prayer out of school. We don't took prayer out of our homes. We don't took prayer out of everything. God said today, if my people call by my name, will humble themselves, seek my face, turn from their wicked ways, and you'll hear from heaven. Today we heard from heaven. We heard from heaven like nothing, so we didn't have to speak nothing. Heaven spoke for us. The clouds began to move back. I called for my guiding angels. I said, you gotta come out. You gotta stop all the rain, because my people gotta make history. I thank God. Just love. It's hard to love. It's hard to love. God say, love the hell out of them. We gotta learn to love the hell out of people. Because so much of hell in them today don't even understand. These people are hurting. These people ain't hollering and screaming and going crazy. These people are hurting. You don't know what people go through in their houses. You don't know what their husbands and wives are going through. From this day long, you let God be God. And stop trying to make people be who you want people to be.
Right.
I always stand on, I can't be nobody but Joseph.
That's right.
I can't be nobody else. I only can be me. And being me, I'm the greatest me that I can ever be. Tell your children to be the greatest you that they can ever be. They got to be the greatest them, not the greatest nobody else. One may make A's and one may make F's. You deal with that F and you train them. You send them to school for a trade. Those that educate you send them for lawyers, doctors, and teachers. But all Lord work together. God showed me a puzzle. He said, Joseph, look at the puzzle. He said, you was on this journey, some of the pieces got missing. He said, but yet the puzzle still was able to be seen. He said, but yet still that puzzle still need to be put in there for it to be a whole picture. God called for us today to put those pieces back. Put those pieces back. Learn to not to love. Learn to love without creating a chaos. Learn to love and not tear down. Learn to love and say, I love you, Joseph, in spite of who you is. But I'm just a cause that's greater than me. So today you let yourself know, stop pulling back. Because you don't understand you was on a test. See, a lot of us don't understand. All God was doing is testing you to see what you were going to do. And you failed the test. I tell everybody all the time, you're all on the test. I tell you today, you better pass the test. When God give you a vision, he don't give hundreds of people the vision. He didn't just give me this vision. He gave it to all of them. He gave it to hundreds of people before I even thought about it. God say a vision, but that work. God said, on the thing I did that they didn't do, I carried out the vision. So when you see somebody doing something, you want to say, hey, God, was I hearing from you? God will let you know you're hearing from him, because he's going to let somebody else do it. So don't get confused when you don't understand God. All I leave with y'all is find somebody to love. Find somebody the child to see about. Find somebody, find somebody to see about y'all. Be blessed, and let God take y'all a little further and a little higher. Y'all be blessed.